I think it was really good. I really got on with my flatmates. And the actual accommodation was more of like a party accommodation. So there was always something going on. And they had a good mix of people in there as well.
It's fun. I think the experience is what you make it. But like I said in my year, where I was doing, like, again, I think also the course you're on, where I was doing business studying was the biggest cohort in the year. Obviously, if there's 320 students, probably maybe 150 of them are living in Purbeck. It wasn't hard for me. It was like, oh, I'll see you at uni. I'll come back there. Oh, Luke, we're having a party. Come down to this party. I'm having prees here. It was pretty sociable, but I think also, I can't say it was just Purbeck because Dorchester seemed very sociable. The only one I say that wasn't very sociable was like the one above the cult, which is called Chesil House. That's because everyone's like, no one went there. It just didn't look that friendly.
It had its reputation of being the loud place. However, I think that was in a good way positive for students because it was very easy to socialize. They had their own little events going on at the time. And I think it was really a really good place to start your university journey, especially as a fresher. You had your study room, you had your common room. There was a courtyard between the two blocks, and for me, it worked really well as a fresher.
It was really nice. Like I was kind of nervous going in because obviously I hadn't really lived by myself, and the whole kind of money aspect was a bit scary at first. But I think just figuring out, like, one thing we did was just kind of figuring out who on my course was in the same accommodation. That just kind of, obviously meeting my new flatmates, that just really helped me settle in. And it was just a really nice, aside from the building work that was going on.
Just say right by town. Really, really lovely accommodation. Couldn't knock it. It's prime location to get the bus into uni. I think it took maybe 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. And then getting to Asda as well, the big Asda right by the train station and station as well, as I say. Being able to potentially get back home was really kind of, I think, good for my family to know, and also good for me that I'm always in the train station. It was 5 minutes away from my first year apartment. So then I could literally then be an hour and a half on the train kind of back home if, I felt unwell.
Well, I was fortunate that I was living in the block that had just been remodeled, because I heard, and I actually went to the other block that hadn't been remodeled yet, and it wasn't great. I think they've both been remodeled, but I think it was all right. I think Rest Life should have been a bit better, to be honest, because they did a few events, but it wasn't like, sometimes you would go to an event and if it was a festivity, say Halloween or Christmas thing, then there'll be quite a few people. But if it wasn't like that sort of festivity, it wasn't as organized. So so there was like no beginning, middle and end. It was just kind of like, oh, we're going to do this randomly. And so not many people would go. I'm not sure if it's changed, but the accommodation itself was actually not bad, as in how it looked, and say the kitchen was quite new. Obviously, I mentioned it had just been remodeled, so it looked quite nice.
To be honest, yeah, it was actually good. Like I actually liked it. Even though I feel like some people didn't like they thought the rooms were a bit smaller. Now for me it was like big, because my room's actually kind of small, like tiny, but for me it's kind of like an upgrade.
Sounds probably just like the size of the rooms and kind of how old things are. I think the building's about 10 years old, and it feels slightly dated compared to other accommodation buildings like Bailey Point in the area. But I think that's about it.
The ups,
I really like the internet. It was really quick, it's really reliable, it's really high tech, the whole building, it's really secure, and there's really nice views as well. I was 10th floor, so I had a nice view of the sea.
Purbeck was good, because before I came they said that Purbeck, one of my sister's friends went there, so she said that Purbeck, like, that's the one. So it was good.
What makes Purbeck the one?
Yeah, no, it was like it was just lit. Like, it was a lot of things. It was always popping, a lot of things going off, activities. Just
If there was a scale of party to study, where would Purbeck be, or where would Purbeck more lean towards to on the scale?
Yeah, no, definitely more towards partying. When I was in first year, definitely more towards partying.